Hi, and I'm Denise.
And welcome back to another edition of Urban Lifestyles, and we're going to call this the Derby edition because a lot of things we're going to be talking about are leading up to Derby.
So you say.
So I say.
I'm always messing with him. I'm paying attention.
I'm
just making sure you're on sharp.
Yes, I am on sharp, or as I would like to say, on point. We'll be talking about some of the Derby events that are coming up, but before we get to that, some of the other things we'll be covering today are a piece that we did with LG&E.
Yep.
And also a segment with MSD.
Oh, yes.
We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Be the first this spring with the latest in fashion at GQ Unlimited at 8th and Broadway and Indian Trail. This spring, it's all about the Empire blazers and the new bow ties made of feathers, cork, and wood. Hats by Dobbs & Stetson and shoes by Stacey Adams. And suits by Sean John Perry, Ellis Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and Michael Kors, all on special buy one and get one half off. GQ, where the well-dressed man shops and shops and shops.
Southern Indiana's #1 Toyota dealer. Hey folks, just take the bridge for savings. We're offering employee prices for everyone who walks through the door. Remember, you pay what we pay. Come see me, Rodney Carter. We're closer than you think. Just take I-65, exit 4, Lewis and Clark Parkway, across from the Green Tree Mall, or visit us on the web at JeffWallerClarksvilleToyota.com.
Magic 101.3, Kentuckiana's #1 station for R&B.
And we swim a lake by the ocean.
Magic 101.3.
Give me that green light. With your permission.
We're live, local, and Louisville. Magic 101.3, the home of Steve Harvey and Morning Show. We are Magic 101.3.
Well, Denise, the first segment that we're going to talk about is a piece that we did with LG&E. And, of course, they are a huge community partner. And this segment is no different because it's talking about something that they're doing for the zoo and for the animals and also people like you. So take a look. We're here for another segment of Energy Matters, and we're out at the Louisville Zoo for a party for the planet. And this is something that LG&E has done for 9 consecutive years. Now I'm back with my best buddy, Natasha Collins. Welcome back to Urban Lifestyles, and tell us about Party for the Planet.
You said it, Max. This is the 9th year that we've supported Party for the Planet. It's a month-long celebration of the Earth here at the Louisville Zoo. So we just encourage folks to get out, celebrate all the zoo has to offer, but while they're doing that, to appreciate our planet, to learn a little bit more about how we can all do more to appreciate our planet every day.
All right. So it seems like it's a great opportunity not only to connect LG&E with the zoo and with the general public in a totally different fashion.
Yeah, this is a strong partnership and one that we support because, obviously a lot of people know that we support our most vulnerable customers in a number of different ways. But when it comes to some of the other things we support, obviously education and the environment as well are a couple more of them. And this is an ideal partnership for that reason. Not only does it help to bring folks out to the zoo, while we're here, the zoo attracts folks from all ages. So for folks who are of our mature age, we can be reminded to celebrate the earth and to think about the planet. But then for our little ones, we can start to really foster their love of the environment through events like this and through visiting the zoo. So it's a natural connection and a great way just to tap into, one of our local establishments that we cherish while also kind of building that love and appreciation for nature.
All right, now I know you all have done a great job, and as you said, the zoo is your major partner, and one of the people that you work with out here is Kyle, correct?
Yes, Kyle Shepard. She is key in our partnership, and she can tell us a little bit more about the celebration this month.
So I think that's a great segue to bring Kyle in. So Kyle, come and join us. All right, so tell us a little bit about, Natasha's told us from her perspective, so how do you see the partnership from the zoo's perspective?
Well, we love being partners with LG&E and KU. I mean, they allow us to celebrate the Earth not only just one day. We think it's important to celebrate all month long, so they allow us to do that. And we have events every weekend, and we have a fun student art trash formation contest where we ask students to build pieces of art from trash, from recycled material. We had some incredible pieces this year, and we've awarded those students, and had a ball doing that. And then, we celebrate every weekend. We have something from some species awareness days to meet and greets to discount days every Monday in April. This is great. You can get in for $5.25 thanks to LG&E and KU. So $5.25 admission on every Monday in April, or for the rest of the Mondays in April. And then it culminates with April 29th. We have a deeply discounted day of $8.25 on that April 29th day, thanks to LG&E and KU. So it's great. It's a great partnership. And like she said, it just helps to engage folks about the earth and why it's precious and why it's important to be good stewards.
So how did you all come up with some of the activities that you have, and what has been the response of some of the people that are coming out here?
Well, people seem to really love Earth Month, and they know it's coming. So they call us and they're like, when are those deeply discounted days you have? So they know it's coming. It's branded itself, and people start to enjoy it. And they know that we celebrate all month long. So this big, huge party for the planet has become something that people know about for sure.
Now, I have to ask, do you have a favorite event of all of the events that you do?
Well, I personally do like the Student Transformation Art Contest because it gets the students involved, and it's pretty incredible to see the creativity these students have with recycled material. I mean, it's just pretty amazing, actually.
Do you all hold on to them for a display where people can come back and see them sometimes even after the month of April?
We have done that before. We're working on that. We don't have a lot of space to do that and keep them secure. So we don't do that quite yet, but we do. We have photographs, and we share them on our website and that type of thing and on social. But the kids really kick it up a notch sometimes.
Well, Kyle, thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you.
So, Natasha, as always, we'll come back to you to close us out. Party for the Planet. What's your favorite event, and have you ever entered in any of the contests that they have out here?
I have not entered in the contest, but since you asked what my favorite is, I have to agree with Kyle. The Transformation Student Recycled Art Contest is thebomb.com. It is so good. And then we added a category last year where students have the opportunity to make instruments out of recyclable materials. And so then Teddy comes and he does his orchestra with the band through the recycled instruments. I'm not explaining it well, but it's really cool. And believe it or not, they sound great. So that is my new favorite part of Party for the Planet. But there's something every year, and there's something here for everyone to enjoy.
So, looking at LG&E and the partnership and everything that you all do in the community, what can we expect next coming from LG&E?
Oh, man, the hits just keep on coming. Well, one other thing that I would mention for April, in addition to being Earth Month, it is also National Safe Digging Month. Okay. So we know that we're going to get past the cold. We have the sun that's coming. A lot of people have projects. I'm sure you got a honey-do list, Max. So you got to get out in the yard. You got to do some digging, put in the flowers, put in maybe a new tree or something. And as you do that, you want to make sure that you're thinking about what is below. There are a lot of underground utilities below, and that's even outside of the utility that we provide. So whether it's electric, natural gas, water, sewer, there are a lot of things underneath the ground that people don't think of. So we encourage folks to call 811 or to make sure that they have their underground lines identified before they do that digging. And we're talking about whether you're a weekend warrior doing projects at home or whether you're a contractor, you have to be cognizant of what is underground. So make sure that you call and have lines identified before you start that work.
Right. Well, it's always great catching up with you. And I think something else coming up that you are going to be very involved in, it happens to be something happens around the 1st of May, some little small race or something. I don't know, something I've heard about.
Well, there is a race that happens the 1st of May, but I think one of our favorite parts of that whole festivity is maybe the 2 weeks that precede. Mm-hmm. So, yes, the Kentucky Derby Festival also going on at Thunder over Louisville on April 21st. So, making sure you get out, support everything that festival has going on, and support our community in this exciting time. We get a lot of, obviously, folks in from out of town, and we certainly want to be, stewards and show them around and show them everything that we have to offer.
Well, it's just another idea of how it's so important to give back, take care of the planet, because as far as we know, we only have one.
I know, and especially speaking of people like me, you meant creatures like me or creatures like you at the zoo?
Could be one of the both. They could be interchangeable. I'll let you have
You better
that.
watch it.
We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
My name is Laurentina Smith. I've been with Louisville Water Company for 18 years. Right now, I'm a lead operator apprentice, and what that is, I do operate as an operator when my relief is gone on vacation or is not here. I step up as a lead operator because I do have my license. Well, we take care of making sure everybody has clean, fresh water, safe water when they turn on their tap, basically. And what we do is make sure everything runs smooth here. We pump the water up from the river and bring it up here and treat it, and it goes out to the customers. Sometimes it can be nerve-wracking because it's scary because, you know, not only we take care and make sure the customers have water, that's our family too. So you don't want anybody to, you know, get sick over what you know, producing. So what we do is try to make sure that we send out fresh, clean drinking water because it's a career type job. And you're learning stuff every day. I like the fact that every day it's never the same. When you come in every day, it could be something different. And I like learning. I like being at the plant. I love being up here and experiencing different things and not being out doing the same thing every day. It's every day when I come here, it could be something different. And I love the fact of being able to do that. And when I step up, that's important. And I love it. My family likes that I have this job. My father would have been proud of me. He's not here now, but he used to bring me up here all the time when I was a little girl. I have family members that come in from Alabama, Georgia. They love our water. They do. Yeah. Okay. They wish they can bottle it up and take it with them. Pure Tap, the best in the nation. Louisville Pure Tap.
Energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during the storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We are more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving.
The national rally is taking place, and of course Louisville is involved with this. So we've got students from DuPont Manual and Assumption that are here as a part of this protest. So tell me your names and what made you decide to come out on this rainy day.
My name is Faith Lindsay. I'm here to stand with the youth. Like, we're taking a stand, we're using our voices and trying to use our power as much as we can, because we can't vote, but this is how we're using our voice today.
And how about you?
My name's Haley Brents, and I'm here today because we need to make a stand and never again. My name's Krista Wang, and I'm here because my best friend, that was her school in Parkland, Florida, and I'm here to stand with her.
So what do you think can be like the results here in Louisville? How can you make an impact, and how do you get politicians to listen?
I think it starts with changing people's opinions, and I think it starts by making demonstrations like this so that people know that we're serious and that it's time to change.
You know, everybody always talks about the Second Amendment right. So how do you all feel personally about the Second Amendment right?
One of the signs that was used today, it said that the Second Amendment right was made in the 18th century and it's the 21st century, so that right should be looked at again. It could be turned over. We could take that out, make some changes to it.
And for you, being that you have friends in Florida, what's the mood like? I know they're all over the news, but have you had an opportunity to talk to your friends lately, and what are some of the things that they're saying?
You know, my friend is just saying how devastating it is, and that she doesn't want this to happen to anybody else, and it shouldn't, and it should never happen again, because the world needs to change to fit this century.
I'm here with Carmen Weathers, Washington, and you're out here on a very rainy day, but for a very important cause, and it has to be important for you to be out here for this.
Yes, it is. It's really important. I am so, although it's ugly, really, it is the best day. I'm so thankful to be out here with these kids. I'm so happy to be a part of this and to help them, support them in their advocacy and their activism. And my son is a senior, a 17-year-old at DuPont Manual, and so this is really important for us. And I work for JCPS. I'm in an elementary school. So not as it's only about school violence, but it's about gun violence and about attacking the gun culture in the United States of America.
Being an African American, not only a school teacher, but a parent, what are some of the things that you have had to instill in your son?
Well, obviously we had to have the talk when Marshall was about 11 or 12, and most African American families have to do that. But the other thing is that he just got his driver's license the last few months, and now every time he leaves the house, I have to say an additional prayer for him, because I'm not so much afraid for me as a mom about the violence on the streets as I am about the police and Marshall, the encounter that I know he will eventually have with the police, because I've had my own.
So do you think most of the young kids his age get it? Do you think they truly understand where we are in terms of history and what's going on?
I believe, I wasn't certain about that, but I believe that they are getting it. And I think that this movement indicates that they are getting it, and this is really important. This kind of activism and this advocacy on behalf of youth is not new in the United States. I mean, there have been lots of movements. African Americans in the civil rights, young people led those movements. So this is not new. But what I think is different is social media. And what I also think is different is that for the first time, we, not just the United States, but I believe that there are movements today in solidarity, right, on the 7 continents. So I think that that's different.
Well, I'm here with Mari Sweeney, who is a candidate for the 36th district in terms of state representative. Welcome back to Urban Lifestyles. You're out here today in support of this rally that's going on, and why is it so important that you be here?
Well, you know, you think back 40 some odd years ago, we used to get under desks for civil defense drills to make sure that the Russians didn't bomb us, and now these kids have to do the same type of drills for domestic violence. It's not right. I've got a little different perspective. I'm not only against these military rifles and arms, but I think we should stop manufacturing them, and I think it's the manufacturers that are really at the heart of the NRA, funding the NRA, so that we have a nation divided. And so I think we need to say, hey, you will no longer manufacture military-style weapons.
For the general consumer.
For the general consumer.
So, you know, when you look at these young kids out here, they're loud, they're proud, they're definitely making a statement. And where do you think that all of this effort goes after today?
Well, I think it's going to the ballot box. I think all of these kids are talking very coherently, are very alive about what they think. They are talking about voting. They are registering to vote. I think this is a tipping point, and this is the beginning of what every generation says our generation will be the generation of change. This generation has started change when we were just talking about it. We're finally going beyond conversation.
What are we always looking for?
We are still always looking for new show ideas.
That's correct. So if you've got a great show idea, be sure to go to our website at www.urbanlifestyles.net, and that's lifestyles with a Z. And if we happen to use your show idea, you can win a free oil change from Jeff Weiler Toyota. And of course, go by and see Rodney Carter and tell him that Urban Lifestyle sent you. He'll be happy to put you not only in a new vehicle, but also a pre-owned vehicle. So we'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Be the first this spring with the latest in fashion at GQ Unlimited at 8th and Broadway and Indian Trail. This spring is all about the Empire blazers and the new bow ties made of feathers, cork, and wood. Hats by Dobbs & Stetson and shoes by Stacey Adams and suits by Sean John Perry Ellis, Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, and Michael Kors, all on special buy one and get one half off. GQ, where the well-dressed man shops and shops and shops.
Southern Indiana's #1 Toyota dealer. Hey folks, just take the bridge for savings. We're offering employee pricing for everyone who walks through the door. Remember, you pay what we pay. Come see me, Rodney Carter. We're closer than you think. Just take I-65, exit 4, Lewis and Clark Parkway, across from the Green Tree Mall, or visit us on the web at jeffweilerclarksvilletoyota.com.
You got an opportunity to go out and work with MSD this month, so tell me what you all covered.
Well, I love this segment because MSD is always about the public, keeping us protected, but there are a lot of people behind the scenes within the MSD family that make that happen, so let's take a look. So sometimes you've been out and in traffic and you see these trucks with MSD and like wonder what's going on now, but it's a good reason why these trucks are out to keep us safe and served. So Mr. Mike Griffith, share with us some information on one of the work sites that you were talking about and also one of your supervisors.
First of all, I want to introduce you to one of my most senior and most experienced supervisor. His name is Daryl Goodwin, and he has all
Hi,
the.
Daryl. Pleasure to meet you.
He has one of the roughest part of our county, of our city. He has most of the brick sewers, all the old, complicated sewers. He deals with a lot of utilities.
When you say old, in years, what are you talking about?
100 plus.
Oh, wow.
Yep. 100 plus years, and he deals with all the brick sewers and all the utilities. He has to go around to make repairs. Wow. And what they're doing here now is making a repair on the property service connection. And I do believe these people have a backup. So one of our duties and responsibilities is to come on these sites and restore service to our customers and our ratepayers. So they'll get them dug up, make the necessary repairs, and get these folks back in service.
Is this considered a hot spot, or how did you all know to come to this area?
This is not a hot spot. This is considered an emergency repair because they don't have service. Okay. So they call into our customer service, they issue a work order, a service request, and then it goes to a work order, and then it's issued to his queue because the part of the town is. And he can give you more of the technical aspect of what we're ready to do here. So Daryl, you want to fill in what he's doing here?
Yes, we just have a property service connection that we just dug up earlier in the day, but we're still kind of analyzing it. We have a line that has actually it's been bored through by LG&E, and we have them on site at this time so that we get the gas service or gas main out of the property service connection so that the customer can have service.
When you just mentioned, I never thought of you all having a lot of collaboration, with the other public service works around the city.
Yes, a lot of times, usually what happens is a lot of trenchless shoring that's taking place around the city and also in the county. Google Earth and all those different companies are coming into Louisville to push their services, their utilities, and a lot of times what happens is that they end up, in some cases, they'll bore through it because of the depth.
So I see that there's a big hole over there, and you all have this equipment. But exactly what are you doing? Are you removing something and replacing it, or just doing an actual repair? And what does that mean?
Yeah, actually what we're doing, we're repairing the property service connection. We're actually removing the pipe itself, and then what we're going to do, we're going to come back and then put in PVC pipe opposed to clay tile pipe.
From 100 years ago?
Yes, ma'am.
So basically, within the system inside the Watterson, as Mike had shared with me, basically these systems in this area in Portland and so forth are so old. I guess you just do replacements per when an event happens, because otherwise it's just so many trunk lines, as you said?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. A lot of trunk lines, and mainly what we do is we get work orders or service requests from customer service, our customer coming in, and they allocated per area, other areas, and the areas are assigned to by supervisors, and they put them in the queues and they assign them to the crew leaders and sort them out, and then we make our repairs as need be.
So since one of the neighbors or somebody in the neighborhood called about this, what was one, I'm going to call it a symptom, that was, I know you said it was a backup, but what was the symptom of what was needed to be done?
Well, actually the customer actually had they were backing up inside their home. Okay. And then basically what happens is we generally come out, we'll have an inspector come out, the inspector will come out, he will assess the issue, the problem, and basically what happens, he might run his camera or whatsoever into the line, and when he ran that camera, he discovered that there was an issue right there in the sidewalk. So what happens is that, as Griff had just mentioned, that it ends up into our work order queue, and then I'll get that out of the queue, and then we'll get a crew. We'll send a crew out to actually make the repair on the property service connection.
I just have to ask this question. So I'm gonna put myself in the shoes of this customer. What time frame of a turnaround are we talking about?
Well, in most cases it may be a day turnaround, but in this case right here, it could be a day. It just depends on. Like I said, we have the LG&E is out on site now because they're gonna have to remove their line, their gas main out of our service, and then we're gonna have to make a repair. So it could be a couple of days or so.
You all do so much good work, and I know most of it's outside. What do you do upon the different weather elements? I mean, because sometimes when it's really cold or rainy or hot, I mean, how does that play into your role of work?
We dress appropriate. Plenty of water when it's hot.
Okay.
Stay hydrated when it's hot. Take breaks. Don't overheat. In the wintertime, we provide them with coveralls and sweatshirts and uniforms to stay warm, and boots. We give them everything they need to fight the elements.
Because I know you said if it's construction, that usually means a day off, but because you all serve the public.
In the private sector, if it's really bad, they will not work that day.
Okay. Yeah, so as you can see, you can have a good, rewarding career within MSD, and I just like the fact, seeing the faces, being able to meet them. Sometimes you're driving by on the road and you see all this work going on, but these are some of the people who are making it happen for us. And then all the technology that MSD has done through the years, and you know, as he was saying, how they decreased the flooding risk and a lot of things in the community when the rainwaters fell. So hats off to MSD, and this was a much enjoyable segment that I shot.
And you know, it was nice just kind of seeing Mike out there doing what he does. It just shows you if you work hard, stay consistent, great things can happen. We'll take a quick break and back with more right after this.
Energy company.
We are mothers,
Fathers,
neighbors, and friends.
Working hard when the weather is good.
and even harder when it's not.
With online updates to keep you safe and informed during a storm.
Programs to save you energy and money.
And new projects to help us provide cleaner, more reliable energy.
We are more than an energy company.
We are LG&E.
We're LG&E.
We are LG&E.
Our energies go to serving.
Well, as you know, Derby's coming up, and we've just outlined some of the events that are happening on during Derby week. Of course, we don't have them all, but here's a list of some things you just might want to check out. Starting with Wednesday night, the Urban League's going to be at the new Omni Hotel, and they've got Charlie Wilson. And on Thursday night, 100 Black Men. They're at the new event. It's called C2 Events, and having Midnight Star Monique Roberts, who's a fantastic violinist, and also DJ Reggie Ridge. And then on Friday night, it's the trifecta with Stevie Wonder, also at the Omni Hotel. And then Gerald Neal is having his, as we always know, his old school party, and that's going to be at the Kentucky Center for the Arts. And then there's an old school all-white party featuring Glenn Jones, Unlimited Show Band, and that's also going to be at the C2 Events on Friday night. And then Saturday night, if people still have any energy left, there's going to be the Boo Pack Tour at Legends, and then we always end up with Griff's annual Derby party. So as you can see, there's a lot going on, a lot of outfits, a lot of changes, a lot of fun. What do you think? What are you going to attend?
It's going to be a surprise.
Well, it can't surprise. We'll be going
You
together.
just go where I say go.
Yes, ma'am.
No, we'll be filming everything. So
that is
that's
correct.
How we'll be covering it to bring back to you.
You're right. So you know what? I think that's our show.
That's our time.
And we'll see you back here next time on Urban Lifestyles. Happy Derby.
Bye.